Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Chef's Table. My name is Jesse Blanco. I am host of a local television show called Eat It and Like It. You can find Eat It and Like It Saturday afternoons at high noon on WTOC. Consider myself the voice of food for both sides of the Savannah River, and it's a good thing because we're here tonight to talk about food, lots of it. I am honored to serve as your MC tonight for the second annual virtual Chef's Table event. It's a fundraiser benefiting the Culinary Institute of the South here at the Technical College of the Lowcountry. Obviously, there's a table set here for more than one person. We're going to have some great conversation about food. We're going to meet some interesting people who are part of the growing food scene here. And I think we would all agree that the food scene here on this side of the Savannah River, Bluffton, Hilton Head, Beaufort, is pretty darn good. But the goal here tonight is to find a path to pretty darn great. We're going to get there, and we're going to get there with your help. So we're going to be here for about an hour and change. You're going to learn some, and we're going to ask you to donate some money to help connect all of the dots. Before we get to all of that, we want to make one thing clear to everybody, and that's the issue of safety. Lots of planning and thought has gone into this event here. We've been meeting for months, and there's been no, I'm at a loss for words. That doesn't happen very often. But there's been no shortcuts taken when it came to safety. We've met here. Everybody's been wearing a mask. Everybody who's in this room that you will see here tonight has had their temperature taken. So safety has been a primary concern for everyone here. You're going to see a lot of masks, but you're also going to see some people who are not wearing masks. But we want to underscore the fact that safety has been very important to all of us and to everyone as we continue to move through the pandemic here across America. So with all of that said,
special thanks to this
sit
year's
back and relax.
presenting
We're going to have some good
sponsor, Cypress of
conversation.
Hilton Head.
We're going to see some
The
great
second
food.
annual
We're gonna
Chef's
talk to
Table
some
benefit and
students.
auction would
But
not
it's
have
all
been
going to
possible
benefit the
without
Culinary
its
Institute of the South, its students, and its programs.
special thanks to this year's presenting sponsor, Cypress of Hilton Head. The second annual Chef's Table benefit and auction would not have been possible without its generous support. The Cypress of Hilton Head Island is an award-winning continuing care retirement community in Hilton Head Plantation. With unparalleled services, activities, amenities, and healthcare options combined with the benefits of equity home ownership, the Cypress is a forward-thinking choice for the evolving lifestyle of today's active adults age 62 and better. To learn more, visit cypressofhiltonhead.com. From all of us at the Culinary Institute of the South at Technical College of the Lowcountry, thank you for your generosity. We are so grateful to have you at our table.
And that was a mouthful. We are going to start, however, at the top. Joining us now is Chef Miles Huff. Chef is the Dean of the Culinary Institute of the South, Technical College of the Lowcountry. How are you, sir?
I am doing great, Chef. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm looking forward to a great hour. It smells good in here already. I wish this were smell-o-vision, but it obviously is not. But why don't you welcome everybody and tell us a little bit about what you guys have been doing here in preparation for this event?
Well, first of all, welcome everybody, and it is important tonight that we donate. I know these are rough times, but it's very important that we donate. There's 3 ways you can be able to donate tonight, Justin. There's going to be a green button that you can just donate. You can also equip the student. We want to talk about that. We'll talk more about that later. And of course, our fabulous auction items, and I'm one of them, so I expect that number to be really up there. But we are in one of our brand new facilities here at the Bluffton campus. This kitchen is a little less than a year old, so we actually started our program here.
Now this Bluffton campus where we are, just for those who aren't familiar with exactly where we are, because some people know that the construction is going on over in the Buckwalter area. That's not going to be ready until fall-ish of 21.
That is correct.
Correct.
Fall of 2021. But we started here, and it's only about 4.5 miles away. Actually.
Correct. But this is a beautiful facility. You've been teaching here for how long?
We've been here a year now. We got state-of-the-art equipment. We're doing well. We're running labs in here Monday through Thursday, morning and night.
Very nice, very nice. So now with that said, tell us a little bit, because we're going to be asking everybody to make some donations and bid on some auction items that you can see on the screen at any time during this hour that we're visiting together. But tell us a little bit about what we can expect once you open in the new location.
Oh, it's going to be like a facility you've really never seen before. I've been in this business for a long, long time. We're going to have 5 working kitchens. We're going to have a restaurant that's going to be open to the public. It's going to be run by faculty and staff.
Right.
We're going to have a cafe for things for sale. We got a 70-seat amphitheater. We'll have visiting chefs, hopefully you, chef,
Yeah.
coming in and doing demos for our students. And at the heart and the center of the almost 30,000 square feet is going to be the Foodseum. And I guarantee you it's going to be things that you're going to learn. It's educational. We're going to have people coming from all over. They're talking about busing tourists in, so it's going to be also a tourist event too. But what a working facility it's going to be, something that I've never seen in the South.
Very good, very good. So with that said, they say what is the saying? Help me out here. A plan without a goal is a wish.
Right.
Did I get that right? We have a goal here tonight, obviously. It's the long way of what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
How much money are we looking to raise here tonight?
Chef, we're going to raise $65,000 tonight. I don't think we're going to run short. I think we're going to have $65,000 is our goal tonight.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. And it's very easy. As we said, it's very easy to give. When you donate, you give. The green button,
right.
You can just donate.
Right.
And we love those people who just donate. Of course, we have the auction,
right.
And then you can equip actually a culinary student.
And in case you're wondering, we are not here alone in this kitchen. There are students here cooking. We have some special guests over here who are going to join us at the chef's table. We'll get to that in a little bit, but we do have we've been raising money already. The auction items that you see have been up for bids, and we've been raising thousands of dollars even before we came on with this program here at 6 o'clock. There's one big item that a lot of people haven't gotten in on, and it's the chef's cooking series.
The Master Chef videos.
A series of videos from local chefs. Tell us a little bit more about those.
Well, basically what we did is we asked 11 Lowcountry chefs, and we asked them to actually use a southern ingredient and just cook their favorite dish. So you're going to see some fabulous cooking videos if you buy the package, and also you're going to find some tips that maybe you didn't know or maybe you'd like to know that may help you in with your holiday cooking. Mm-hmm. Some of the chefs that were here was Chef Nate from Montage. He did deviled eggs, but I guarantee you've never seen deviled eggs quite like this done before. Yep. We have Chef Kevin Mitchell, and he did his fritters with okra and tomatoes. And of course, you're going to see me with my flounder recipes. We also have Chef Nick, who did smoked pork. We had Chef Garrett from Saltus, who did shrimp and grits using lardons. Very delicious dish. If you've ever done shrimp and grits, this one you don't want to miss. And of course, you had Chef Ben Harris from Sea Pines with his South Carolina crab cakes.
That is a lot of content. That's a lot of video, and it's not just instruction there. You can learn a lot of things there, and it's important to underscore to everybody, you can have access to all of those videos for $50. Not each. Total. One donation of $50 gets you access to all of that video, and you can learn how to make all of those dishes, correct?
That is correct, Chef. Yes.
Very good, very good. All right, well, we're going to take a second to thank our sponsors. We cannot do it without them. Our presenting sponsor is the Cypress. We also have gold sponsors. They are Charles Sampson Realty Group, Dividend Assets Capital, Heritage Classic Foundation, Omni Resorts Hilton Head, the Sea Pines Resort, South Atlantic Bank, Cisco, and of course, U.S. Foods. So with that said, thank you very much, Chef, for taking a few minutes.
You're welcome.
We will visit with you back over at the chef's table. Want to remind everybody that the auction is up until 7. And unlike a lot of auctions that you've been to, maybe at events in person and banquet halls, you probably have a couple of minutes after until they come and they tear a slip and you can't bid anymore. This is electronic. Yes. At 7 o'clock, all bidding is going to cut off. So if you're going to try to sneak in there to get a last bid, you're not going to get past 7 o'clock. You might try to get in there at 6:59, 58 if you're lucky. We want to let everybody know electronically the auction will cut off at 7 o'clock. So happy bidding, and remember, when you bid, you give. Let's hear from another one of our sponsors.
Special thanks to the Sea Pines Resort for its support of the second annual Chef's Table benefit and auction. Spanning the southern third of Hilton Head Island and located along 5,000 oceanfront acres, the Sea Pines Resort has been a quiet retreat for more than 50 years. The Sea Pines Resort offers an array of family and individual activities, including natural beaches, championship golf, tennis, biking trails, and so much more. Learn more online at seapines.com. From all of us here at the Culinary Institute of the South at Technical College of the Lowcountry, thank you to Sea Pines Resort for your ongoing generous support. We are proud to have you at our table.
All right, well, we are back. We told you that there were students actually preparing food for our chef's table here tonight. We were not kidding. but here to talk to us a little bit about what the students are preparing is Jackie Orak, department chair here at the Culinary Institute of the South. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Jesse?
I'm doing all right. We promised everybody it smells great in here already.
Absolutely.
The students have been hard at work for a couple of hours, if not longer.
Probably since 1 o'clock.
Oh, wow. Okay. And so you're going to tell us what they're actually preparing, correct?
I sure will.
What is that?
Well, we are doing a Southern Harvest surf and turf. We're going to start with an appetizer of oysters Rockefeller. Then we're going to move on to a classic pork lamande, rosemary grilled shrimp over Carolina stone ground grits, and fresh herb roasted Brussels sprouts. Whether you want to use it as a dessert or an intermezzo, a palate cleanser, we'll also have a last hint of peach sorbet with a Benny C. Tweel.
Wow. That was a mouthful.
We've been going.
Do you think we're going to eat it and like it?
I absolutely. I have
Did you see what I did there?
You did. You
That's
played it off.
quality entertainment right there.
Absolutely.
We are making grits here, correct?
We sure are.
Should I take a second and chat with Chef Mark? Tell us how much you enjoy making grits.
I love grits. Down here in the South, we do a lot of grits, and we like to make sure that we do them properly, so we get it done ahead of time.
We were having a conversation the other day over a beverage about what is the secret to great grits, because you can't live in the South and know how to cook and not make great grits. What would you say is the one thing you have to make great grits?
Chef Mark.
Boom. How about that? You're not
Nope.
kidding either.
No
Okay,
pun
what
intended.
about good answer? What about ingredient wise?
Ingredient-wise, you want to have good grits. You want to make sure that you're using heavy whipping cream, and then just make sure that you simmer them throughout the time that they're cooking.
And don't stop stirring.
Correct.
Don't stop stirring. Okay, we're keeping an eye on you. Keep going. So, Chef, tell us a little bit about your view of this program, where it is right now, where it's headed, and a little bit about yourself.
Well, the program is going in many directions. We're right now with culinary, baking and pastry, and hospitality and tourism. We do have a future of healthy baking and cooking in the roads, as well as beverage management. The sky is the limit, because with this unique opportunity with hospitality and tourism, there's so many different niches. You can do anything, and we're very excited to show the students what opportunities they have in this field. Talking about that, a little bit about myself, I can tell you I've been doing this for 20 years. I'm a chef, both culinary and pastry, as well as I'm a hospitality and tourism major. I run multiple restaurants as a general manager, which led to my passion of wine. And in that time, I decided to become a sommelier as well.
Well, that's all. In your spare time, you're a somm.
Absolutely. That's how much you love it.
Very good, very good. So beyond obviously being the department head here, a couple of the auction items that are up for bids that you can bid on at any point up until 7 o'clock while we are sharing this program with you are two cooking class, one cooking and one baking class with you, correct?
Absolutely.
Tell us about those.
We are with Chef Huff. You will have 8 of your great friends coming with you, and we'll have paired with wine to do whatever cooking class you'd like. And then you'll have an opportunity, if you bid on mine, to do any type of sweet dessert that you like. And also, we will have wine.
Very good. Baking and wine.
It's
That's
not
tricky.
It's not a better pair.
Baking is science, though. If you go askew a little bit because you had too much Sauvignon Blanc, then you got to start all over again.
Absolutely.
That's bold, but hey, a fine time will be had by all, right?
Absolutely.
Very good. So, is there anything you'd like to bid on that you saw on the list of items that you thought, ooh, I'd like to have that?
There was a couple wine packages I had my eye on.
Of course there were. Of course there were. That is your reminder that there are 3 different ways that you can donate to the Technical College of the Lowcountry and the Culinary Institute of the South. You can just donate. There's a green button that'll be on the screen until about half hour beyond the end of the auction. You can equip a student, which we're going to talk about a little bit later,
Absolutely.
and what the students need. There's a flat donation of $350 to equip a student, and then of course you can bid on any of the auction items that you see, and you can scroll through at any given time, and you can get to bidding, right?
Absolutely.
Because remember,
When you bid,
you give, right? Let's hear from another one of our sponsors.
The Heritage Classic Foundation is a nonprofit organization dedicated to supporting educational and charitable initiatives that enhance the quality of life and economic vitality throughout South Carolina, and is a proud host of the annual RBC Heritage presented by Boeing. Learn more online at heritageclassicfoundation.com. Thank you, Heritage Classic Foundation, for your ongoing support of the Technical College of the Lowcountry and the Culinary Institute of the South. We are proud to have you at our table.
Well, we told you we were trying to reach a goal of $65,000, and just like magic, there you go. We are at $27,615, thanks to your generosity. And there's a running list. Well, that's your time remaining. Time remaining in the auction. It will cut off at 7 o'clock. We are just about halfway to our goal. I don't do math, but was I right there? Is that accurate? 27,615 on our way to 65,000. And don't feel bad if we go over 65,000. We're okay with that too, right?
No, we're not going to argue with that.
Right, exactly. Well, welcome back to our chef's table. I told you we weren't alone. We have the students over there making their food, and we are over here about to have some wonderful conversation about where all of this is going. Joining us now to introduce everybody here at this table is Lee Copeland, the Assistant Vice President and Director of Marketing and Public Relations for the Technical College of the Lowcountry. How are you?
I'm great.
Very
We're so
good.
happy to be here. Thanks for hosting, Jesse.
It's going to be a good time, I think, about to get better.
Oh, yes. We're getting ready to have some good conversations. And,
Yes.
of course, the wine is always a treat. So before we get started with the roundtable discussion, I did want to talk a little bit about the culinary school itself. I know that there are a lot of new people joining us that may not be as familiar with the project. You heard Chef Miles talk a little bit earlier. It is under construction over in Buckwalter Place. We'll have room for 300 students. And we're going to be offering a number of college degrees and certificates. So ranging from the culinary arts, of course, we heard Jackie talk about the baking and pastry. And of course, so important to the area here, we'll be offering hospitality and tourism management degrees and certificates. So what's exciting there is not only will we have a culinary auditorium, teaching kitchens, baking labs. We'll also have a Foodseum, which we'll talk a little bit more about shortly. So with that, it's my pleasure to introduce our guest here tonight at our round table, which is actually a rectangular table, but we'll take it. First of all, Gil Smith is here with us. He is the South Carolina president for U.S. Foods. Welcome, Gil.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Great. And Bill Miles, of course, with the Hilton Head Island Chamber of Commerce, the CEO and president over there. Welcome, Bill.
Thank you.
You've met Chef Miles Huff, of course, the Dean of the Culinary Institute of the South. And then Chef Kevin Mitchell, who is the 2020 Chef Ambassador for South Carolina.
Thank you
and
so
then
much.
last but not least is President of the Technical College of the Lowcountry.
The Technical College
That
of
is
the
right.
Lowcountry.
Dr. Richard Goff. So welcome. We're so glad to have you at our table. I did want to mention, of course, the wine. I hope you all are enjoying the wine tonight. You'll see there's some special wine packages on the auction as well. And we have a special shout out to Rob Mandavi, who has provided the wine tonight. Folio Wine Partners has been a big proponent of the Culinary Institute of the South. So we are so happy to have Rob with us tonight. Actually, it's a surprise guest. We'll be hearing from Rob shortly. So.
Hey Lee, thank you so much, and cheers to you. So this is the second time that I have been able to be involved here. The first was last year with the inaugural event. And guess what? Between now and then, the Culinary Institute of the South has broken ground, and you are moving ahead as planned, which I think is absolutely remarkable. I'd like to pay special attention to the Chefs Roundtable, which is where you're having the chefs and the Institute and leaders from the community come together to really guide and shape and to brainstorm how to move forward and what will be relevant now and in the future. And that is so important to have that collective think tank together. So definitely participate in that if you can and if you are able, because that is something that will be truly special, not only for today, but also for the future. And that's really what we are talking about here for the Culinary Institute of the South, is building our future. And not just building the future of the students, which we'll get to in a moment, but building the future of your community. By teaching the students these wonderful skills and the importance of local cuisine, local recipes, local ingredients like your shrimp from the wonderful waters here and the unique fish that you have, and then the agriculture you have also in the area with the Carolina rices that are unique to this area and also some of the great heirloom breeds. You also have access to all the culinary ingredients of the world through your wonderful purveyors who sponsor this event as well. But I want to make certain that you understand that through the Culinary Institute of the South, when we're training people here and they have the opportunity to learn these skills beyond recipes, but to learn management, to learn people skills and the interaction of a team, and to also learn food costs and accounting and business management, you're putting this all into the Culinary Institute of the South. And that sets up the opportunity for successful restaurants and successful resorts. And that is going to continue to build your community. And that is what is exciting. It allows a community to grow. It allows a community to thrive. And because you are the Culinary Institute of the South, you are also teaching the regional importance of the cuisine here, as well as an international flair. Wine and food is so important to me. I had the pleasure of meeting Julia Childs a few times. She was a best friend of my grandfather. And what I loved about meeting her, and she put me to work in the kitchen because we didn't have a babysitter one night, and she had me making stock. Pretty simple as a kid. You're chopping carrots, onions, and the whole bit. And what she taught me is that we can come together and we can participate as a community. And she wanted everyone to learn. One of the icons of the culinary world wanted people to learn. And you have taken what she has done in putting America on the forefront of the cutting edge cuisine in the world by starting that work many years ago. Now the Culinary Institute of the South is taking the concept of teaching and embracing to a whole new level. And I'm so excited to be a part of that. Cheers to everyone. Keep it strong, keep it going. And if you can, put a bid in on the M by Michael Mondavi. It's a very special vertical of rare wines from the very first days when we created that wine for my father, Michael Mondavi, from the heart of Napa Valley. Cheers to everyone, and cheers to the Culinary Institute of the South, and a shout out to my buddy Matthew Rohr. I love you, pal.
Wow, that was so awesome. We had Rob Mondavi with us tonight. And Rob, thank you so much for your support, for your ongoing support. It really makes a difference. It matters. And we're happy to have you at our table. So with that, we just heard Rob talk a little bit about the importance of food and community and why he was excited about the Culinary Institute of the South. So I want to open that up to the table. Why are you all excited about the Culinary Institute of the South from where you're sitting?
Who wants to start?
Yeah, Rich.
Okay. Well, I'm excited about it because as president of TCL, I think I'm going to have the privilege of sampling some of this great food we're going to be producing here in our kitchens. But the official answer, of course, is that we live in a wonderful area in the Lowcountry, and the quality of life is super high. But this will just add one additional dimension. It's going to strengthen and reinforce some things we do here already, and it's going to make it even better. So, and in the meantime, we're going to advance economic development. We're going to allow students to progress in their careers, and we're going to help businesses in the process. So, I think it's great.
Awesome.
I certainly echo that. And when you think about the area that we live in, and then to be able to have a world-class facility, and that's what, with the vision of the Technical College of the Lowcountry and the donors, that's what we're going to have here next fall. And Rich, I'm glad you mentioned that economic development, because it is an economic development initiative. And while we have world-class communities, our culinary scene is delightful, and it's one that continues to grow. And what's going to, the students that will come from the Culinary Institute of the South with Chef Miles and his team will be incredible assets to our community.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm really excited about the Culinary Institute of the South. With the opportunities, I've been teaching now for close to 30 years, and to see students grow, I mean, and it's not only in restaurants. We have schools, we have hospitals, we have the whole healthcare system, which we failed to announce, we did just get approved a healthy cooking and baking certificate, which we'll be providing too. And that was one of the mandates that I had coming here. So there's so many opportunities, and this Lowcountry is built on hospitality. So to be able to provide hospitality, the industry out there with jobs, and to see our students grow and take those management positions is really exciting to me. It's always exciting to me to watch that happen.
Absolutely. I know we've kind of softly alluded to it, but it is the Culinary Institute of the South. And I think that, as the name implies, we're seeking to, put it on the map nationally. So, why is Southern cuisine so important? I'm going to throw that one over to Kevin. What's unique about it?
Southern cuisine it's unique in the fact that it's probably the oldest cuisine that we have on the planet. It's basically, it spreads out through not only through the South, but American cuisine as well. And so Southern cuisine is the basis of pretty much everything that we do here, specifically in the South. And we know that Southern cuisine has become extremely popular. Everyone wants to come to the South and eat Southern food. But what's important is getting people to understand Southern food is all encompassing. So it's not just one specific style of food. It's based on regionality. It's based on different regions of the South and different ingredients and different cooking techniques. But it all comes back to that one thing, as with it being here in the South. So, and I, of course, getting my degree and focusing specifically on Southern food culture, specifically because I'm a Yankee. But
I wasn't going to go into that. You're from Georgia.
I knew eventually you were going to probably bring that up, so I figured I'd do it myself. But having a grandmother that grew up in the South, but for me living in North and learning about that food, and then of course coming specifically to the Charleston area, has allowed me to really open up my mind and really understand, the beauty and the quality of what Southern food is.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't you say, though, that in this part of the Lowcountry, we have some unique things here that are special and indigenous here? Would you
Oh, absolutely.
say that?
Yeah, Kevin, I know you speak a lot on the slow food movement. What are some ingredients here in the Lowcountry that's unique, that makes us unique when it comes to Southern food?
I mean, one of the main ingredients that makes us unique is rice. I mean, we don't necessarily exist without the cultivation of rice, as it relates to coming from our ancestors in Africa and also coming to this particular area. Also, we look at different types of peas and beans, so black-eyed peas and Sea Island red peas that are specifically grown in the region. Carolina Gold rice specifically grown in the region. And then we're also looking at anything that's just local, so okra and the Bradford watermelon that is specific to Sumter, South Carolina. A very famous watermelon back in the 1800s that has somewhat kind of left the scene, but fortunately for people like Nat Bradford and other people in the South, they're bringing these indigenous ingredients back, so people understand that where these ingredients come from and why we need to continue to have chefs purchase them, or even people at home purchase these ingredients and cook them at home.
Absolutely, and I think we'll talk a little bit more about the importance of that perspective when we talk about the Foodseum soon. So thank you all. We're going to go on over to another sponsor break right now to thank Charles Sampson
Special
Realty
thanks
Group.
to the Charles Sampson Realty Group and its support of the second annual Chef's Table benefit and auction. Having been in Hilton Head since 1972, Charles Sampson knows the Lowcountry's real estate market inside and out and specializes in working with permanent and second home buyers on Hilton Head Island. Learn more at charlessampson.com. From all of us here at the Culinary Institute of the South at Technical College of the Lowcountry, thank you to the Charles Sampson Realty Group for your generosity. We are proud to have you at our table.
Thank you, everyone, for that insight at the chef's table. We will be back with you shortly, but proof positive that this is a living, breathing, growing auction is right there. We are now up to $33,285 on our way to a goal of $65,000. We're about halfway through our program here. Reminder that the auction will cut off at 7 o'clock sharp. It is an electronic system, So you will not be able to sneak a bid in there after the numbers hit 70000 across the board. Of course, you can continue to donate. You can just bid. There's a green button that will remain there. The auction items will not, however, be up for bid after 7 o'clock. There are 3 different ways that you can donate. You can equip a student. We'll tell you about that in just a second. You can bid on any of the auction items that you will see on your screen up until 7 o'clock, or you can just give us whatever you like. Blank check would be nice, would it not be, Chef?
Absolutely. Remember, when you bid, you get.
That's right. We are back here now with Chef Jackie, and we have a student who is about to, you're sauteing some apples, correct? Before we get to the apples, looks like they need a couple of minutes. Chef, tell us, what is the most what do students overlook the most when they come and walk through your door and say, I want to be a culinary student? They don't realize what?
They don't realize how much hard work, dedication, and ultimately, I feel, passion it takes to be in this field, but a lot of people don't realize how expensive this chosen career is.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
very, very expensive.
It is, and you have to be dedicated because it's a commitment. It's like playing golf.
Absolutely.
You can't go spend $50 on a setup for golf. Same thing if you want to do this for a career. You have to immerse yourself in it completely, and you have to be prepared to spend a little bit of money. At the beginning, though, it's a small amount. Tell us a little bit about what it costs to equip a student and what that includes.
To equip a student, it's about $350, which includes what you'll see here is our mannequin with our uniform. Literally, they have to be equipped from head to toe, from the skull cap to their shoes, apron, side towels, specialized chef coat and pans, and don't forget the expensive tools that we have here that allows them to do the job in the kitchen.
The knives, if you bought knives, you know knives are not inexpensive, and here you get. So that this is the knife kit.
Yes, for the culinary.
Very cool.
Yes,
Very
sir.
cool. And so $350 will equip a student, but a lot of the money of the $65,000 and hopefully more that we will raise here tonight, those are just some of the things. That's just some of the things that you guys
Absolutely.
provide. What type of I mean, obviously you can't tell us, well, where does the money go? But what are some of the things that you hope to do in the future if you can get donations up?
We would like to implement more of the beverage program side and get more specialized equipment for the students so that when they get out in the field, they know exactly what they're doing.
Very good, very good. It's all about preparing them for that first day out in the
Absolutely.
real world, right?
Oh, yeah.
You remember what that was like?
I sure do. I look back at that picture every day.
Let's talk to this budding chef. See, don't those apples look a whole lot better now? I wish y'all could see it. I wish y'all could smell it. Tell us your name, young lady.
Rolanda Montgomery.
Rolanda Montgomery.
Yes, sir.
And you are, what is it exactly that you're doing here?
I am sauteing apples for the pork normandie that we have today,
In what? What are you sauteing them in?
and clarified butter.
Nice.
Clarified
I wish you could see it. Can we maybe hold that up so they can see? They look amazing. Tell us about your experience here at the Culinary Institute.
My experience has been great. I've worked in the food service business for 13 years, and I said, well, this obviously is something that I want to do. So got in the program, and it's been amazing. It's like pushes me to do more and more. I've learned, I thought I knew everything, and no, I don't.
If there's anyone out there that says, I might want to, I'd like to go to cooking school. I like to cook. There's a lot of hard work involved.
Yes.
Coming here.
Very much so.
Yeah. What would you say is the one thing that you thought, oh, I didn't expect that?
Well, I've been in the kitchen,
Right.
so I can say I just learned more. I've learned a lot of things that I don't know, but if you're just say, oh, today I want to be a chef, like it's going to be probably difficult for you because it's a lot to it.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I'll let you get back to those so that they don't burn. Financial aid is available for students, correct?
It is, but it doesn't cover
Right.
the uniform and equipment.
Correct. There are some things that you just have to come up with if you want to
Absolutely.
be a culinary student. Very good. Well, we have different levels that you can donate as well beyond the equip a student. You want to tell us about those?
You can do donate about $260. We'll provide a professional knife kit, or you can donate $70, $20, anything that you have. Every little penny helps. Provide a student with their culinary uniform as well.
Very good. And that button is just donate. It's the
Hit.
green button on the auction. And I've been teasing everybody with these apples. They look really, really good, and you're going to see them as part of a finished dish in about, I would think, 20, 25 minutes that they are preparing here all around us. 3 ways to give. We want to keep reminding everybody that there are 3 ways that you can donate. The green Just Donate button.
Hit now.
That's right. You can bid on any one of the auction items that you see on your screen, or you can equip a student, which we've been talking about here for the last few minutes. Very good. Well, thank you, Chef.
You're welcome.
We will see you, I guess, at the chef's table, right?
Sure will.
All right. Let's hear from another one of our sponsors, Cisco.
Special thanks to Cisco for its support of the second annual Chef's Table benefit and auction. Cisco is the global leader in selling, marketing, and distributing food products to restaurants, healthcare, and educational facilities and lodging establishments. With more than 57,000 associates, the company operates 326 distribution facilities worldwide and serves more than 625,000 customer locations. Learn more at Cisco.com. From all of us here at the Culinary Institute of the South at Technical College of the Lowcountry, thank you, Cisco, for your support. We are proud to have you at our table.
All right, well, just like that, we have jumped up to a whopping $48,170 thanks to your generosity. How about a round of applause for that number? I feel like Ed McMahon at the telethon. Hey, remember that? I promise I will not say that again. But thank you all for your generosity and your donations. And actually now we're going to come back to the chef's table and Lee, correct? Yep. Hi. We're back.
Hello, welcome back everybody. And if you're just joining us, welcome to the Chef's Roundtable. It's my privilege to have with us tonight Gil Smith again. He's the South Carolina president for U.S. Foods. Bill Miles, president and CEO at the Hilton Head Island, Hilton Head Bluffton Chamber of Commerce. Of course, Chef Miles Huff, Jesse. Chef Kevin Mitchell, the South Carolina Chef Ambassador for this year, and Dr. Richard Goff, president of TCL.
The technical
College of the Lowcountry.
If Ohio State can use it, then so can we.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's right.
So we've heard a little bit about the expense, what goes into the curriculum, the program here at the Culinary Institute of the South. But I wanted to talk about the career, because that's what it's all about. You know, we're training these students to go on and have meaningful careers, hopefully right here in our area. So, Chef Kevin, why don't you talk about your career as a chef and what you would say to encourage these budding chefs over here?
Well, my career, I would say it started as a young boy in New Jersey learning how to cook from my grandmother, and who encouraged me to go to culinary school. So I went off to culinary school. I've worked in numerous areas of the industry. I've done hotel dining, I've opened up hotels, I've done country club, I've done university dining. I was a chef at Cornell University for about 2.5 years. I've worked for some of the big hotel brands. I worked for Starwood, which is now Marriott brand. So I opened up numerous hotels for the company in Atlanta, in Philadelphia, and in Boston, and so on and so forth. So the career, it's a really great career because you get to travel, you get to see new places, you get to work in different areas, and plus there's so many things that you can do in this career. If you don't necessarily want to be, a chef being in the kitchen all the time, you can, as Jackie, you can become a sommelier, you can become a GM of a hotel. I mean, there's so many different things that you can do. But for me, I've always been partial to being in the kitchen, being with the students, creating food, opening up hotels, and just being around people. And that's probably one of the best things about the career, because you get to meet so many different people from different backgrounds. You also, with your travel, you get to learn different types of food, different cuisines, whether it's of course Southern, or you're learning Asian cuisine, you're learning African cuisine, you're learning so many different things. So for me, it's just been a really great thing. And specifically now at the pinnacle, it's becoming chef ambassador for the state of South Carolina, which is a huge thing for me to have, just to be appointed ambassador by the governor of the state. And fortunately, unfortunately, through COVID, we're going to be able to be chef ambassadors throughout the year of 2021 because of all of our travel being shut down. But it's going to be a great opportunity for me to get back into the travel and get back into, talking to people about what makes South Carolina great as far as the food, the hotels, the businesses, the restaurants, and so on.
And we're going to circle back to that in just a few minutes when we talk about the Foodseum. But Chef Miles, did you want to add anything? I know you've had a rather lengthy career yourself in the kitchen, so talk to us about that.
I started off, I'm retired Air Force, I started off in the hospital. And a lot of times in the hospitals, there's just not a lot of happy endings. I want to be in a place where people were having fun. So I, through my career, I've done catering. I was an executive chef to two clubs in Florida. Thanksgiving, which is coming up, would be close to 2,000 people. So me and my staff would be very busy. And then I was a private chef for a couple of years for a 4-star Air Force General. So not only knowing back of the house, but knowing front of the house, being able to cook and being able to actually entertain to people, a lot of people that had dined in the White House themselves. So knowing protocol, but the people you get to meet is just phenomenal, and you get really good skills. You can go any place and do anything. Anything from book writing to education to, we talked about healthcare, and then to those restaurants. I mean, it's just a fun, exciting career. And we're the biggest career in the world, and we hire more women, professional women, in this career than any other career out there. So it's just very rewarding to be able to be a part of it.
Well, you talked a little bit about, you mentioned healthcare. I know we've talked the bulk about restaurant hospitality, being chef in those areas, but tell us about other places that are looking for skilled chefs and culinarians.
Well, actually, there's a lot in our school systems now. I wrote a cookbook 2 years ago on South Carolina schools cooks, and we were doing training with cafeteria workers in the schools, talking to young kids mainly about nutrition and what it takes. Not just taking it out of a box and cooking it, but doing good local nutritious food for our school systems. And a lot of times it's just a matter of training and education. So I love forming those little minds when you're talking to middle school and elementary school kids about nutrition and about what they're eating, actually putting into their bodies.
That's great. And then I know for us, we talk about hospitality and tourism, but what about healthcare, the assisted living facilities? Do you see a big demand there for trained culinarians?
Oh, absolutely. And it's trained culinarians that are important. As we see the expansion of these facilities, especially with they're not looking for they're looking for quality food in your assisted living. They want fresh food, quality food, and they're demanding it. We're growing up in a food world where everybody's asking, where did it come from? How was it made? Is it nutritious? So I think it's there's a huge demand for that. I get calls every day for trained culinarians just in our industry, just locally. So it just depends on, and I always tell a student, don't make up your mind right now, just experience. Each of our programs has an internship program where they can actually go out and experience, whether it be a big resort or whether it be a small mom and pop or whether it be a school. So we give our students the ability to expand their education and really kind of figure out where their niche is going to be.
That's great.
I have a question for Chef Huff.
Yes.
Chef, your career is varied and broad and extensive and very accomplished. Your resume is fantastic. What's your favorite job ever been?
It had to be working for the 4-star General. I love, being a military man myself, listening to the stories, actually cooking for the General, and he would actually come into the kitchen and help me wash dishes at the end. And knowing that he was a decorated fighter pilot and that he had done all these amazing things, it was probably that accomplishment and meeting these people that as a regular citizen, I probably never would have been able. I had Storm and Norman Schwarzkopf for 2 weeks, which was great. I had the highest delegation of Russian generals ever come to this country for 2 weeks.
So no pressure.
No pressure. But, the thing about it is you serve the food that you know. I definitely didn't look into Russian cuisine. But to being able to talk to these folks and find out about where they're from, I never would have had that opportunity without being the chef that everybody wants to know.
Absolutely.
And I'd like to spin that this current position as dean of our Culinary is probably a close second.
Oh, absolutely. You know,
Nice, yes. Yes, boss.
Yes, boss. Now to bring this up. But you know, the important thing about this, the intriguing part about this, is building this brand new facility in one of the hottest growing places in South Carolina.
Absolutely.
You know, it's the gateway to Hilton Head. There's so much going on. The building is we're right next to a huge Kroger, which is the biggest in the Southeast. We have all these opportunities with U.S. foods and everybody wanting to be a part of this. And the Foodseum, I dream about the Foodseum and what it's going to be, how educational it's going to be for all this tourists from upstate, or I should say above the Mason-Dixon, talking about Southern food and culture and what makes Southern food so great.
And so I'm gonna pause you there because you segued right into the next question.
I'm sorry, I get excited when I start talking about the food.
I know, me too.
Because it's the only one that I've never actually walked into a Foodseum that's going to have the type of things that we're going to talk about.
Right. And so if you haven't figured it out, Foodseum is exactly what it sounds like. It's a food museum. And the Culinary Institute of the South, its Foodseum is going to be dedicated to sharing and preserving the story of Southern food. We've talked a little bit about that already, you know, why Southern food is so important. When you think about where we're located, we're in one of the #1 travel destination in America. We're right between Charleston and Savannah. It just made sense. You know, we didn't see other people doing this. You mentioned working with your grandmother in the kitchen, and I think back to that myself. My grandmother made homemade biscuits every single morning. Thankfully, I learned how to make those. But what if I hadn't? And how are we preserving those types of recipes and stories? So shifting gears, that's a little bit, I know we've talked about what it's going to be, but how do you think, Bill, how do you think it's going to impact the tourism industry? What do you see as the benefits there?
Well, so many benefits, and just enhancing the overall culinary experience, and then being able to share stories about the flavors of the Lowcountry, and stories about the great thing of sitting here tonight, and unfortunately we all can't be together, but we do have our chef's table tonight. But it's people like Chef Kevin Mitchell and the stories that he has, and be a South Carolina ambassador is absolutely fantastic. And you'll be one of the first that ever got to serve 2 years as a South Carolina chef ambassador. But then the other part of that, when I'm looking at the students here at the Culinary Institute of the South, and what they're producing back here in the kitchen, and you look at the creativity, and I was just sitting here thinking, what does it take to be a really, really good and effective chef? Well, lots of things. You've got to be creative, you've got to be a scientist, you've got to be a farmer, and not only farming the land, but farming the waters to produce some of the things that people want to cook, and the whole experience. And so I'm just so excited about what the Technical College of the Lowcountry is doing here tonight. I am just really, really excited, and encourage all those that are watching, if you could be in the kitchen tonight watching what the students here are producing, that number would keep going up quickly, and let's make that happen tonight.
That's right. And that really is the heart of what it's all about. It's about educating our community, and both the Culinary Institute of the South and the Foodseum are going to educate a lot of people. And so with that, we're going to wrap up this segment of the roundtable, and we're going to hear from recognized South Atlantic Bank, another sponsor.
Locally owned and operated, South Atlantic Bank is dedicated to meeting the unique financial needs of consumers in a number of coastal South Carolina communities, including Bluffton and Hilton Head. Learn more at southatlantic.bank. From all of us here at the Culinary Institute of the South at Technical College of the Lowcountry, thank you, South Atlantic Bank, for your support. We are proud to have you at our table.
Just like that, we have jumped up to $55,155 on our way to a goal of $65,000. Thanks to all of your generosity, you have about roughly, what are we looking at, about 11 minutes left in this auction. Just another reminder that this auction is electronic. Everything you see there, the bidding will end at 7 o'clock sharp. If you want to sneak a last minute bid in there for something you may have had your eye on for the last hour or so, 50 minutes, you'll have to do that before 7 o'clock. It will all shut off at 7 o'clock, but that doesn't mean you can't help us afterward. There's a Just Donate button. It is green. It will be there for about 30 minutes after we are done with this program. And you can donate there to your heart's content, because we'd love to have the donation. With that, let's hear from another one of our generous sponsors, Omni Hotels and Resorts.
Special thanks to Omni Hotels and Resort for its support of the second annual Chef's Table benefit and auction. Omni Hotels and Resorts creates genuine, authentic guest experiences at 60 distinct luxury hotels and resorts across North America. With more than 25 iconic golf courses and 16 award-winning spas featured in dynamic locales nationwide like Hilton Head Island, every Omni proudly opens its doors to share the true spirit of its destination. Learn more online at omnihotels.com. From all of us here at the Culinary Institute of the South at Technical College of the Lowcountry, thank you, Omni Hotels and Resorts, for your support. We're proud to have you at our table.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We're back at the chef's table. We're having a good time. I'm trying to keep these gentlemen, in line. They're doing pretty good over here.
We got an empty bottle.
Uh-oh.
There's a reason.
Yes. We've talked a lot about, I guess, the career, what's going into behind the scenes, what the students are learning, but what's important to all of that is the quality of the food. So, Gil, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the food itself. We know that U.S. Foods has been such a generous supporter, and we thank you for that. Why have you chosen to support the Culinary Institute of the South, and what's important about food?
We invested in the culinary school because we felt like it was a great opportunity to invest in the future of our industry. There's so many opportunities within the industry, whether the students graduate and manage kitchens or run restaurants or work on our side of the business, or many of the opportunities that Chef Kevin and Chef Miles talked about earlier. There's just so many opportunities, and we need great, skilled, and talented students to take on these roles in these positions. So it's that's why it was important for us. This particular area also was important because it's such a great community, and we have a lot of great partners in this area that we felt that the investment was needed to provide that skilled labor that we all need. Staffing was a challenge pre-COVID. It's a challenge now. It continues to be a challenge, and this is greatly going to improve the opportunities for all the restaurants and operators within this area.
Absolutely, and I think after tonight, I hope enrollment is going to skyrocket for us. If you're interested in enrolling, we are accepting applications right now, and you can go to tcl.edu, click on that culinary tab, and learn all you need to know. We're teaching now so that we'll have students ready to go when the doors open this fall, and when they open, we'll have a kitchen named for U.S. Foods. So again, thank you for that.
Oh, absolutely.
On the other side of that, and we talked a little bit about it, is the economic impact. And Bill, with the Chamber of Commerce is one of the foremost advocates for economic development in our area. Why do you think the Culinary Institute of the South is important to the region as a whole when we're talking about the economic vitality of the area?
I think when you think about the Culinary Institute of the South, you think about excellence. And what Chef Miles and his team and Dr. Goff and those are creating an experience that is creating excellence. And so when our residents are going out to eat, or when our visitors are coming in, it's going to be a unique experience. And this is just another, the Foodseum will be another attraction that we have that tells a unique story that not sure of other places around the country that are doing it. And so really just hats off and saluting the leadership here and the great things that the Technical College of the Lowcountry is bringing to our region.
Thank you. Anything to add to any of that?
Well, I still think, going back to putting our students to work and having students have a dream. And I always tell our students, when you start the Culinary Institute of the South, the first semester, I really don't want you to know a lot about being a chef. I just want you to have the passion to be a chef. That's all I'm asking for. It's just that passion to know that this is what you want to do. Coming into our school, first semester, you may be putting on these chef whites, and I always say, take a look at yourself in the mirror. You're just going to be overwhelmed by what you see. Can you see yourself being an executive chef, a restaurant owner, owning your own food truck, owning your own catering business, being a private chef, working for U.S. Foods. Some of the best food salesmen I've ever had are, I must admit, some of them are, they go like, well, chef, you don't remember me? I was your student back in 19 whatever, and I'm going like, I'm sorry, but God bless you, you know. But some of the best food salesmen I have are chefs, because they know how to sell food. So it's just an endless way of getting a job, being out there, being a part of the community, and giving back to the community. And just to see those people with that passion coming out and saying, this is what I want to be, it's just so rewarding. I just can't say enough about how rewarding it will be to see them grow.
And I think we all agree that's why it's so exciting. I mean, we're talking about something that's going to shape and form the community for the better, and I think we're just all waiting and excited to see that happen. So with that, we're going to take another moment to recognize our sponsor, Dividend Assets Capital, and check in with the leaderboard.
Dividend Assets Capital is headquartered in Oakland, South Carolina, and founded on a belief in the long-term power of accumulating and increasing dividends. Advisors' insight, developed over the past 30 years, focus on core areas of investing and has successfully guided large and small clients across the globe. Learn more at dacapitalsc.com. From all of us here at the Culinary Institute of the South at Technical College of the Lowcountry, thank you, Dividend Assets Capital, for your support. We are proud to have you at our table.
Will you get a load of that number? How about it? Let's hear it. $62,615, and I've been keeping an eye on the countdown. I think we are just coming up on 3 minutes left in this auction. If there's a big ticket item that you've had your eye on for the last 56 and a half minutes, 57 and a half minutes, you're going to have to bid right before this auction ends. You will not be able to do so afterward. So get your typing fingers ready if you want to jump in on it. So as they say, it's last call for the auction. You see it right there. You've got about 3 minutes left if there's something that you want to get in on. So with that, remember, when you bid, you give. Lee, what you got for us at the chef's table?
Well, I think we've got a few last-minute bids coming in, so that's a good thing. We're hoping you're doing that as well. So we're going to be wrapping up our roundtable. I want to thank each of you for your support, for being here tonight, for your ongoing support, because I think you're going to be at the table with us for the next year or so until we get those doors open, and hopefully for some time after. So with that, Rich, I wanted to give you a second to talk about, how do you think the Culinary Institute of the South is going to help the community as a whole, and why is that important?
Well, thanks, Lee. That's a great question. TCL is the best educational value in the Lowcountry. We're relevant, we're affordable, and we're accessible. It's our goal at TCL to elevate every student and every business in our communities. And we provide real-world, relevant, valuable higher education that prepares our students for the future, for jobs now and for future jobs, right here in the Lowcountry. And that's important because our students tend to come from the Lowcountry and they stay in the Lowcountry. And that helps them and it helps our businesses. It's sort of like the old saying, a rising tide lifts all boats. Well, you know what? A well-trained student, a well-trained workforce benefits everyone. So that's what I think.
Absolutely. I think we should cheers.
Cheers.
All right, and we cannot wrap up a conversation about the Culinary Institute of the South without talking about Southern food. So my last question for the group is, what's your favorite Southern food?
Can we go around the table?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You want to start with?
Start with me? Wow. There are so many, but I guess if I had to choose one, I love barbecue, and I eat barbecue any way you can cook it, whether it's ribs or pulled or chicken or anything you can put barbecue sauce on, I love. So I would have to say barbecue.
I've got to second that. I love barbecue. I love smoking barbecue. I love cooking barbecue, and I love driving down the road and seeing a little barbecue stand and pulling off to the side and getting a nice sandwich.
And let me say, I would add collard greens and black-eyed peas with that as a cornbread.
That sounded good. Yes.
Well, obviously, I'm going to give you a chef answer.
Okay.
So my chef answer is I follow the seasons. So in the fall, not to echo, but in the fall, growing up on a farm in rural South Carolina, we always butchered hogs and we barbecued. You know, so in the fall, I love those barbecues. I love those collard greens with big smoked ham hock stuck up in the middle of them. So the barbecue, probably the pork in the fall is my favorite. I look forward to it every year. Then look at apples, who's actually coming out. So oysters. I mean, we're in the Lowcountry. Oysters and shrimp. I love oysters. I can eat oysters. I've never met an oyster I didn't like.
I vote for shrimp.
Yes.
Can you give him more than one choice?
Well, I'm sorry. It's a typical chef, but this time of the year, I look for my oysters too, because having a good oyster roast is perfect.
Absolutely. How about you, Kevin? We're going to come back to you, Jesse. I haven't forgotten you.
Well, that's a hard question to ask a chef, especially one that studies Southern food. But some of my favorites would have to be some of the things that my grandmother cooked for me growing up. So black-eyed peas, which is one of the first things she actually taught me how to cook. So I have a huge affinity to black-eyed peas and her macaroni and cheese. But I'm a big shrimp fan. I love gumbo. I love purlus. Rice is probably one of my favorite things to eat. Not necessarily, my doctor will tell me differently, but anything with rice, so it could be a purlu, it could be a jambalaya, or it could be gumbo with rice. So anything like that, if it's at the table, I'm sitting there.
Absolutely. Rich, what's
So
yours?
my favorite Southern food, and tell me if this is right, is bourbon a food? Because it isn't just for breakfast anymore.
It is Southern.
Yes, it is.
Southern.
Well, I have a great recipe for you. Sauteed gator, and you deglaze the pan with bourbon.
There you go.
Can you put bourbon in your shrimp and grits? Because that is my
Yes.
favorite Southern food.
Absolutely.
That's
Yes.
that is it. That's
Shrimp
mine.
and grits,
Yeah,
that's my
with
favorite
bourbon.
too. Yeah.
I got to tell my quick barbecue story first, because when you mentioned the shack and pulling over, I remembered this happened just last week. I'm down in St. Simon's Island doing an interview, and I got to get back to Savannah, but I'm starving, middle of the afternoon. I'm going to drive by Southern Soul Barbecue. We all know about them. And I thought, okay, what can I eat from there while I'm driving back home? And so I literally pulled over. I bought a pound of pulled pork. It looked so amazing. I decided, okay, I'm going to eat this while I'm driving back to Savannah. I literally looked at my shirt and said, it doesn't matter what happens to this shirt. And I drove up 95 back to Savannah, grabbing pulled pork, dipping it in the sauce, and eating it like candy. But I will have to say that my absolute favorite Southern food, love barbecue, but my absolute favorite Southern food has got to be fried chicken. And I grew up in Miami. So I didn't grow up on fried chicken. It just kind of happened when I met my Southern bride. Thought, oh my goodness, where's this been all my life? So it's got to be fried chicken. I don't think we have fried chicken here, but what we do have looks amazing. Wouldn't you all agree?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Wow.
This is awesome.
Well,
Very nice.
There's
Very
those
beautiful.
oysters
Thank you.
Thank
Chef
you.
Kevin was talking
My
about.
shrimp and grits.
Thank you. So who's going to tell us what's on the plate here?
I will. All
Very
right.
good.
So what we prepared tonight, these are recipes that actually our students do every day, Chef. And so we call this our Southern Harvest Surf and Turf. Southern Harvest Surf and Turf. Okay. So we have some grilled local shrimp on a rosemary skewer. We have some Brussels, which are in season. And we season them with a little bit of chicken of the wood, which is a very local forage mushroom, as you know. Stone ground grits, you cannot have Southern food with stone ground grits. I think we can all agree to that. And going back to that pork, a nice good pork loin with apples, with a nice good cream sauce, oyster Rockefeller, a peach sorbet, and a benny seed, which is a very Southern benny seed cookie. It doesn't get any better than that. Can we agree on that?
Absolutely.
Can't wait to dig in. We want to thank our students tonight also as
Squeeze
well.
in here. Come on. Very nice. Squeeze in a little bit. Students. Round of applause for them.
Hey.
Oh, by the way,
I hope you're not eating without me.
Come on in.
we would never do that.
I want to welcome everyone who's joining us tonight. My name is Mary Lee Carnes, and I'm proud to be the Vice President for Advancement for the Technical College of the Lowcountry, and equally proud to be the Executive Director of the Foundation for the Technical College of the Lowcountry. And may I make the announcements?
Sure.
We have exceeded our goal.
Very
I
good.
just want to thank everyone everyone who has supported the college, particularly those who have supported us tonight with this fundraiser. Please accept my thanks on behalf of the TCL Board of Directors, on behalf of the faculty, staff, and students of the Technical College of the Lowcountry. It's only with you that we work every day to build an ever better community college. So thank you very much. Enjoy.
Thank you.
I'm going to go get a plate.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you all
Thank you.
for being here with us. Bon appetit, and somebody better find me a glass. I know that.
Here's a bottle.